Welcome back to Talkin Shop with ShopSabre. I'm Brandon. Episode 33.
Woo!
Jesse.
You ready?
I'm back.
I'm back.
We're back.
We're both back.
We're back.
We are.
Garrett's here.
I'm glad they let us come back.
Garrett's here.
Garrett's here.
I'm
Garrett,
here.
you're missing something.
I still have my ankle.
But you don't have that giant walking boot.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Thank God. We don't have to hear him walking up the stairs like a robot.
Thump, thump.
Now I walk
It's like
at
that
about
scene
jet
from
speed.
Jurassic Park. And the T-Rex is coming.
Chad challenged you to a race this morning.
Yeah, I walk about as fast as him now with this thing.
It's too good. Jesse,
Yes, sir.
what happened?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean.
I got a beard trim last night.
Yeah.
Little bit.
Looks good.
Thanks.
You have a face again.
Didn't have much of a choice. I sat down for a haircut, and she just trimmed it. So
You have a face, so it's nice.
yeah, I do. Thank you.
It's good.
It's handsome, too. You know it.
Sure. We'll go with that. It's Thanksgiving week.
It is.
Yummy, yummy,
How
yummy.
excited are you for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Me too.
Not gonna lie, like some Thanksgiving.
Yeah, me too. Deviled eggs.
Obviously,
So excited.
deviled eggs. Why you gotta go there?
With bacon,
With bacon
or no?
on them.
No bacon.
With bacon.
Thursday, Friday, ShopSabre's gonna be closed.
We are.
We're just gonna mention that now because
Yep.
I'm gonna forget if I don't. So we're closed Thursday, closed Friday, but we'll pretty much all be working Friday.
Yeah, we'll still be working.
Yep. So we'll be able to be reached. Wow, that was aggressive over there.
That
It
was
was.
neat.
That was aggressive.
It's like a bell rang.
I have no idea what Garrett just did.
Planning a
but-
wrestling match this
Yeah,
morning.
it just it sounded like it. The bell went off. I thought you two were gonna start fighting here.
No, it's actually me and you.
Oh wow.
We can't wrestle the cripple.
We can. You'll win.
Yeah, we can't afford to have him gone again.
Well, took us a lot longer to get things going this morning with him. Pushing all the right buttons, aren't you, Garrett?
I don't think I've ever laughed this hard this early in the morning.
Oh my God. Is the sun even up yet?
I don't think so.
Is
Nope.
it Thanksgiving yet?
We're close.
Getting there. Getting there. That's early. But I
Yeah,
had a
it is.
lot of energy today.
We do.
Lots of energy.
Yeah.
I'd say.
What?
I'd say.
A little
What?
rough getting
I'd
going
say.
with us this morning, or what?
Yeah, sorry. But yeah. One question I have for you guys.
What's that?
Have you ever felt like there's so many options you have no idea which one you need?
Yeah, I felt that way before, for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of options in CNC.
You ever
I'm good.
tried picking out a wife before?
Fair enough.
I'm guessing that's how it feels.
We saw lots and lots and lots of other women.
Okay, well, I was referring to more of like CNC options, but yeah, hey, picking out a wife. Let's go there, right?
It's her fault. She made me ride with her this morning.
Yeah, I know. You're
But
still
anyway.
upset about that.
Yeah.
That's all we've heard about all morning long. His wife came in
Sorry.
with him this morning.
Ruined me.
And all he's complained about the whole time is riding with his wife to work.
Ruined my day.
Apparently, she took control of the radio in the car, and he wasn't having it.
Yeah, it's my quiet time, not hers.
It's super funny.
Guess I
Brianna
should have
has
had
a lot
better
of energy.
options.
Yeah, if you ever meet Brianna or speak to Brianna, because obviously Brianna works here, she has a lot of energy.
Yeah,
And
she does.
Sometimes Jesse has a hard time keeping up.
Yeah, I do.
She can bring some excitement in the morning, and he just wants to ride quietly in his Kia 150
Well, it's
by
like
himself.
it's like having a little kid with you the entire time, the whole way to work. What's that? Why are those trees like that? What is that? That's a road, Brianna.
It's too good.
3:00 in the morning. What is that? Close your
Brianna's-
eyes. Go to sleep.
Brianna's car's in the shop, so they're riding together. This is great.
We should have our own show.
You guys should.
Oof.
This would be good. Moments with Brianna and Jesse.
Yeah. I'm gonna have a new show called New Options.
New options. Hey, speaking of options, have you ever felt like we have many options? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about options.
Yeah.
Not stock options, because I'm not going to be able to tell you anything about those. But
You
no,
think I could?
I know you can't. You kidding me? You're barely sure how your debit card works.
That's very true.
The thing that I've been getting a lot of questions on lately, and Jesse, I don't know how much you've been getting it, but we have a lot of customers that I've been talking to here at the end of the year that are starting to really dive into the CNC thing really heavily, and they're trying to figure out what options do they need. You know, what's the right option to be putting on the machine?
Yeah.
You know, how do I know if I have the right ones? How do I know I'm not missing something I need? You know, I've been getting a lot of questions on that stuff.
Me too. Yeah, absolutely.
So I thought today's episode might be good to talk just a little bit about different options and how they can benefit you the most. You know, kind of explaining the reasoning behind these accessories, you know, and some of it related to versatility and freedoms. And, you know, how does some of this stuff affect your long-term success or your long-term play with the machine?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really good episode. There's a lot of good stuff to cover here. I mean, we get a lot of questions on options, right? That's one of the biggest things we deal with is what options when.
Yeah. You know, I think one thing that you'll find is a lot of people who struggle with their CNC typically struggle with their CNC because it lacks versatility or freedom.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right? I mean, a lot of times there's such a structure in the machine that they literally can't do what they want to do.
It limits them from having freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's can you or can you not cut it? You know, I don't want that ever. I mean, when I buy equipment, specifically anything, you know, a tool, whatever I'm looking for, I want the one that's going to give me the most bang for my buck, right?
Right. You don't want to be limited.
Yeah. I mean, I want to be able to utilize it as many ways as possible to justify that expense as well.
Right.
So, you know, that's really where this comes in. As you get into this, you know, where you manage your purchase is going to really come down to what do I need to do, right?
Exactly. Do you have the right options for the work you're doing?
Yeah, you know, and that's where, you know, your CNC consultants and purchasing guides and, you know, managers, whatever, they're going to help you make those decisions.
Yeah, we will.
You know, a
Absolutely.
sales guy is going to sell you something, right?
Yeah.
A sales guy, a typical sales guy is just going to sell you something. He's going to sell you what he has on the shelf, what he has available, what's easy.
I would say you're a commission-paid sales guy, right? Because
Yeah.
we're sales guys, but we do things a little differently than our competition.
Yeah, but you're different. You're not
We are.
a true sales guy. I mean, realistically, you guys are consultants,
True.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys take
Everybody
a lot of time.
looks at us as a sales guy, though, right? People
Yeah,
call
and
them,
that's,
they
I
look
mean, I
at us
think
as a
that's,
sales
again,
guy.
where the incorrect information is.
Right.
They just assume you're a sales guy.
Right.
But the reality is, yeah, I'm the one from the sales department you're speaking to, but I'm not a sales guy. I'm a
Exactly.
consultant. So the difference is we're going to take the time, go through it. Let's ask some questions. Let's figure out what you're doing. Let's learn about you because, as I've always said, I'm not looking for quantity of sales, right?
Exactly.
I'm looking for quality of sales.
Yep.
The long-term success of ShopSabre depends on the decisions we make on the sales side first.
Right.
Because if we're selling the machines wrong, people are going to be unhappy in the field, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just how it works. So for us, it's a really big part of it is to understand the application so we can make recommendations. And some people don't like that. I'm
No,
going to be
they
honest
don't.
with you.
Yeah.
Like, you get some people that they come to our website, they write us an email, and it's need price.
Just tell me, how much do you want?
You know, and it's pretty cold. They don't really open up a whole lot, and you send them an email with some questions, and then they just light off, you know?
Yep.
Just send me a price.
Yep.
I can't send you a price.
Right.
That's not what we are. That's
Right.
not how we do it. Like, the way we do business is not just send you a price. If that's what you want, you're probably not going to be too thrilled to deal with our team, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. We just had one of those just over the last weekend, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just not who we are. Like I said, we take the time to understand the application because you're shopping us, but we're also shopping you.
We are. And it's
honest.
got to be a right fit for both of
Yeah,
us.
like that's exactly it. Like in today's world, we have to make sure the application fits our product as well.
Yeah, I think people think that we'll just sell them a machine to sell a machine.
Yeah.
You know, we won't. That's not what we do. We want to get to know you. We want to get to know your project. That way I can make proper recommendations for what you're doing.
Yeah, you don't become a premium CNC brand by just being everybody's CNC brand, right?
Right. And it's not that we're always trying to talk you into something or sell
Correct.
you something. I might be looking for more information to talk you out of something.
Yeah, you
That's
know-
more often than not what happens.
Yeah, I think, you know, there's probably many listeners who have spoken with me before and have heard me say this, but I'll say it anyways for those who haven't heard me say it is, I'm the worst sales guy you'll ever talk to.
Yeah, you are. You're a terrible,
Yeah.
terrible sales guy.
I'm a terrible sales guy because I am willing to tell you that you're wasting your money.
Yeah, I've heard you do it multiple
I'm not afraid
times.
to do it. I don't care. I mean, yep, it goes against the typical way of sales, right? But if you tell me you need an option and I ask you a couple questions and those questions say you don't need that option, I'm going to tell you you're wasting your money.
Yep.
Because
all will.
It doesn't, you know, it doesn't do me any good to steal from you. You know, like if you're gonna, I need to buy that. As an example, drill head, cabinet guys. Let's talk about cabinet guys for a minute, right?
Yeah.
I get so many guys that call me up like, gotta have a drill head on the machine.
All the time.
Like, why? You know, like, why do you automatically assume you need the drill head? So I always just ask the question, like, okay, how many sheets of material are you doing? And they tell me a number, and then I, you know, what type of work are you doing? Well, I'm doing, you know, just boxes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How many closets do you do?
0.
We don't do closets. Yeah, we're not a closet shop. Why do you need a drill head then?
But it does holes faster.
Yeah,
than
it's gonna do
cabinets.
my holes, my shelving holes, right?
Yeah.
Like for the number of shelving holes you have, for the amount of cost you're going to spend on that drill head, you probably don't need it. Maybe on a slow machine you do.
Yeah.
Okay, there's some machines out there that, God, if I had to work with those machines all day long, I'd quit.
Pull the remainder of your hair out.
I have 0 left, so I can't pull that out. So yeah,
pull it out of your ears.
I'll have to pull my eyebrows off. But yeah, the reality is like, yeah, on a slow machine it makes sense, right? You know, you go back 10 years, and yeah, CNC machines typically had drill heads for that type of application because the tool changing was slow.
Yeah.
You know, the machine's drilling processes were slow. The movement speeds were slow.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, I get calls from customers who tell me I need to slow their machine down. Like we get calls from them saying like, this thing scares me. I need to slow it down. How do I make it not move so fast? Like it happens. That's not a story. Like we literally get that call every month from somebody. And
this is too quick.
Yeah, and we've seen people like literally complain to us that the machine is doing the work so fast that, you know, I don't have enough work to keep the machine busy all day long. Is that a bad thing?
That's a terrible problem.
Yeah, like you should go find some more work for the machine then. Like,
right.
Yeah. So I mean, it's yeah, exactly. There you go. You're welcome. But no, I mean, when you seriously think about that, like, so guys get stuck in these mindset, and unfortunately, there's a lot of sales guys out there. And I guarantee you, like, I'm on a list, man. I think there's, like, a list of, like, people who are like, if I can get rid of Brandon, we're going to get rid of him.
Oh, for sure. You know that episode in, like, or part in Billy Madison where dude's crossing names off the list?
I'm on the name.
You're number one.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's sales guys that don't like me, and I know that because I have probably cost them money over the years because they're
tell the truth.
Yeah, they're stuck in that mindset of 20 years ago, I always sold the drill head on every machine. Now I can't sell them on anything.
Right.
Well, yeah, because machines aren't what they were 20 years ago.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Like I'm
not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to people just to take their money. Like machines are more efficient today.
Yeah, they are.
And don't get me wrong, there are plenty of applications where a drill head makes sense.
Absolutely.
And that's why we still offer them. But to every person who's doing cabinets, does it make sense? No.
No.
And that's where I'm gonna step in and I'm gonna be blunt with you. Like I'm gonna learn about your application. And sometimes, yeah, it's gonna take you 10 minutes longer to talk to me, right? Because I have 10 questions I want to ask you, right? But if you answer those 10 questions really, really fast, we're going to get to the end result of, hey, you want that price? I'll get it for you now.
Yeah.
Like, but it's going to be right. When you get that price from me, it's going to be based on your needs.
Right.
Not just, this is super easy for me to sell, so I'm going to sell you it.
Right. And the questions allow us to get to know each other. And by the time we're getting off the phone, we've had a great time, right? It's usually a pretty good conversation, and there's a relationship going there.
Yeah. And for those who don't have time on the phone, we do it by email too.
We do.
I send personally, every person who requests a quote on our website, I send the email out first.
You do. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Yeah. Like I take a lot of pride in what we do here, so I send out questions.
You're
I get things started.
You're an animal. I gotta say.
Well,
that.
to me, it's not even that. It's I want to make sure that I'm personally involved.
Yeah.
I want to see the projects. I want to hear what's going on. I want to open the dialogue. I want people to know we're real.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to introduce you to whoever's going to work with you, whoever your account manager is going to be, but we're going to get things moving. And then the first thing about it is understanding what your expectations are from a CNC machine.
Exactly.
That's key number one, right?
Exactly.
That's how we can't tell you what options are right for you if we don't know what you're doing.
Right.
Like, how do I tell you what you need when I don't even know what you're doing?
Exactly. I can't make recommendations if you don't let me in a little bit.
So the first part of how do you select the right accessories is really understand your needs, right?
Yeah.
We have to understand the needs.
What are we doing?
Yeah. But the next thing that gets missed, and guys get really offended when you ask this, is what is your budget? Don't get offended by that. Like, I every time I go shopping for anything, if a guy asks me what my budget is, I'm like relieved. Like, thank you. At least he wants to know. He's not going to quote me something that's uncomfortable.
Right.
Like, and he's going to tell me if I'm completely lost my rocker, right? You know, like,
exactly.
Hey, man, I know you told me your budget's $14, but yeah, this is like a $40,000 thing.
Right.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those, like, okay, like I've gone shopping for products that I had no idea anything about.
Yep.
Nothing.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
And when I had to ask the salesperson or the consultant, hey, what am I looking at from a rough, as an example, we were talking about obviously landscaping, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a landscaper. I don't know a lot about landscaping.
That
Can I
checks
do
out.
it? Yes, I can do it. But my wife wants it done, faster than I can do it, and probably a little bit better than I can do it. So, the reality is I had to call a landscaping company. I don't know anything about landscaping.
Yeah.
So I told them what our ideas were, right? Hey, I want to put some rock here. I want to put some edging here, yada, 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 right? And they're like, okay. I'm like, are we talking $500? Are we talking $5,000? Are we talking $50,000? Like, where are we at?
Yeah, I have no clue.
His exact response back to me was, well, what's your budget? And I said to him, I want to spend X amount of money, right? And he says to me, yeah, I can do it for that, but we're going to have to give up this and this. like it helped him tell me where I needed to be.
That's awesome.
And that to me is like, guys look at it as the opposite. I think they're so used to 20 years ago again, sales guys taking advantage of you,
Right,
Like,
right,
what's your
absolutely.
budget? Well, my budget's 30,000. Oh, well, now I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? No, it's now I can care about you a little bit more because I know what your budget is. Or the exact opposite. Guys are like, if I tell them the budget, they're going to spend everything they can.
Exactly.
Well, no. Again, if you're working with a reputable company, they shouldn't do business that way.
Right.
They're going to try to get you the best machine they can get you for the least amount of money.
Oh,
ultimately.
my favorite is when a guy gives you that big budget. Oh, I've got, $80,000, and I send a quote in at 60.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, and that's what I was just going to say is that if you're listening to this and you don't realize that we don't want to make our jobs harder either.
Right.
So, like, if you have an $80,000 budget and I can do it for 60, does that not make my job easier?
It does.
Like, here you go. You had 80. I gave you a $60,000 machine, and here's 20 grand back.
Yeah.
I look a lot better, do I not?
Absolutely.
There's no reason for me to spend all $80,000 for you.
Right. That's not even our mentality, right? Oh, he
Yeah.
gave me an $80,000 budget. Let's max this thing out.
Correct.
No, ShopSabre does this differently. Like, where can I save you money?
Correct. Exactly. Well, my thing about it is if I save you money today, you're going to tell other people about me.
Right.
I'm going to make more than that extra $20,000 by you telling other people to buy from me.
Right. Just by being honest with
By
you.
being honest, exactly. Like, I'd rather sell on that. Like, your $20,000 isn't worth my reputation. Sorry,
Exactly.
It's not. Like, we're not going to play that game, So you have to think about that. Like, take the context of what the question's being at. Like, when I say, what's your budget? If your budget's $20,000, tell me $20,000. Because then I'm not going to start trying to sell you into a $40,000 machine.
Right.
Because your needs may say you need a $40,000 machine.
Yep.
And so I'm going to start talking about what your needs are.
Yeah.
But if I know your needs are a $40,000 machine, your budget's a $20,000 machine, I'm going to have a conversation with you now.
Right.
Okay, here's where we're at. What I recommend is going to cost you about 40 grand. I know you want to be in the $20,000 range. We can give up some of these options. It's not the ideal solution immediately, but it gets your feet in the door.
Yeah.
Do you want to explore that? Well, no, I don't. I want what I need. Okay, let's talk about the 40,000. Let's look at financing now.
Yeah.
Or, the opposite. Yeah, we need to stick to my budget. Okay, let's talk about that $20,000 machine. Here's what you're giving up. This is why it's $20,000 instead of 40. Here's what you don't have. Can you live with that? No, I can't. Okay, then this machine is not right for you.
Right.
I could sell you a $20,000 machine, but I'd rather not.
Well, let's wait.
Let's wait.
Let's wait
Save
till
your
the
money.
budget's there.
Yeah, save your money. Let's not do it at the moment. I'll connect you with a customer who might be willing to cut some parts for you until you can pay for a $40,000 machine.
Yep.
Like, I will work with you there. I would rather not just spend your $20,000 because that's what you have to spend.
Absolutely.
And that goes back to what I'm saying is that understanding your budget, there's no point in looking for what you cannot afford,
I totally agree with that.
right?
Yeah.
We have to understand it.
You have
so
to.
it's not worth your time and it's not worth our time to chase something that doesn't exist.
Totally.
Right?
You said it. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's the second thing, your budget. You have to understand your budget. You have to speak to a professional. I think that's one of the things I can't recommend enough is, who does what you do, for one. Talk to somebody in your industry, right? I'm a cabinet maker. I'm going to talk to other guys in the cabinet industry. I'm going to talk to references that have CNC machines in my industry, right?
Yeah, pick up the phone for sure.
Talk to them. Find out what they like, don't like, what they do differently, right?
Yeah.
Watch YouTube videos. I mean, there's plenty of stuff out there on that. But who knows your industry as well? Talk to people who know your industry.
Right. If you're doing cabinets, we'll give you some cabinet references.
Yeah, and talk to other people. Get references from the people you're talking to if you're unsure.
Right.
If you question it at all, talk to a real customer.
Right.
Or talk to people who understand that industry, right?
It's not going to hurt anything, right? To pick
Yeah.
up the phone. One, you build a relationship with a person. You never know, that person might be willing to help you. But it also gives you an inside look at what it's like owning it from a person, from an actual customer versus just the sales guy telling you.
Correct. And the other thing is then you can talk to people that are within your industry. Talk to tooling manufacturers.
Yeah.
Talk to software people.
Absolutely.
Talk to Mosaic is a good company. Like I said, I've talked to a lot of people at Mosaic, and Mosaic does a good job at helping customers understand the way the cabinets are going to be done in their software, right?
Yeah.
KCD, another software company, they're good at that. Like, these guys understand that side of it. So if you need information on that, they'll help you there.
Yeah, you just gotta
there's
pick
a
up the
lot of
phone.
stuff. Yeah, pick the phone up, talk to these guys. And as you start looking at speaking to professionals, talk to your CNC consultants. Talk to people who do this day in and day out that want to help you understand what machines do and what machines don't do, and understand the different technologies.
Yeah, anyone that's talked to us knows pretty clearly that we're in your corner. All you got to do is pick the phone up, call, shoot an email, text, anything. We're very responsive, and then we make it clear like we're in your corner to help you.
And that's how you select
just
the right
ask.
options. Yeah, I mean, is contact a CNC consultant. I mean,
Yep.
they usually aren't. A CNC consultant usually is not commission paid.
Correct.
Consultants have a fee, right? It's
Correct.
a flat fee typically. They make a flat fee. It is what it is.
Yep.
But they don't care what you buy. They don't care. Like, that's the difference. They aren't commission driven, so they don't care what you choose to buy. They want you to choose what you're going to choose based on a need.
Correct.
They care more about why you're choosing what you're buying than they do about what you're choosing to buy.
Correct.
And that's the difference in a consultant. A consultant cares about the why. Why are you buying that drill head?
Exactly.
Why are you buying that vacuum pump? They're trying to understand that. So the what is, commission-driven sales guys.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That the what.
What?
Yeah, what are you going to buy? What are you going to buy? We're going to get you into something. What are you buying?
Yep.
The why is the guys going, okay, why are you buying that?
Let's work through this.
Yeah, do you need that? Do you not need that? Where's the benefit? So, I mean, that's my recommendation when it comes to that. Now, some of the most popular options you benefit from, right? Let's just dive into that, because I know there's guys out there listening right now going, well, let's actually talk about some of these options. Right?
Yeah, let's get after it.
Yeah, so let's talk about router first, right? We'll talk about plasma as well. So plasma and router, if you're a plasma guy, stay tuned. We're still going to talk about
Yeah,
those.
don't hang up yet.
Yeah, don't hang up yet. But number one need. I mean, I'm going to just say it, the number one option that you should be at least considering if you're buying a professional grade machine, right?
Yeah.
A tool changer.
Oh, absolutely.
It's the number one need if you can afford it.
I agree with you 100%.
And I got guys that call me up and they're like, I was told I don't need a tool changer.
Someone told you wrong.
Somebody told you wrong. Like, the reality is, more than likely, a tool changer will benefit you in some way, shape, or form. And the reason I say that is it's not because just buy a tool changer, but it's because do you cut the same part over and over all day long, cutting out shapes? Yes.
More often not.
Okay,
right?
so yes. Let's say yes.
Yeah.
Right? Let's just say yes to make it easy.
I cut out circles all day long, Brandon.
Yeah, cut circles all day long. Okay, you're probably only using one tool, right?
I am.
Okay, but if you're doing it all day long, how many times are you going to dull that bit?
Quite a few.
Yeah,
I cut hundreds of circles.
Yeah, so having more bits on the tool changer in case you break a bit or something, then you have tools set up, you can keep moving, right?
That sounds really convenient.
It's a convenience thing there.
It is.
So even in that situation, it makes sense to have multiple of the same tool, right?
Yeah.
That's one way to consider it, right? Depending on volume. Now, if you're low volume, maybe you don't need a tool changer, right?
Yeah.
So you take the tool changer out of it, and you don't need a tool changer. You go to manual tool change, and it is what it is. You're not a production shop, then yeah, you don't need a tool changer.
Right.
That's how you weigh that option, right?
Yep.
But the other ways a tool changer benefits you is, let's say you do cut multiple materials, right?
Yeah.
You're cutting melamine one day, you're cutting plywood the next day, you're cutting plastic.
Yeah, I'm a job shop. I'm always busy.
MW, let's say, aluminum, whatever. Every material has a different tool.
It does.
Even wood. Hardwood versus softwood.
That's
right?
correct.
They have different tools. So having a tool changer gives you the ability to put more tools on the machine at one time without having to reconfigure the machine every time you switch materials.
Yeah, it's super convenient.
That's a nice feature.
Time savings, huge.
Cabinet guys. Doors, drawers.
Dovetails.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing all kinds of stuff. I mean, you're doing your shelving holes. You're doing your dados, cutting things out. A tool changer is a no-brainer.
They'll fill 10 positions quick.
Oh, yeah.
Before they know it.
Yeah, in a cabinetry world, like tool changer, you got to have one.
And how many calls do we get from customers that didn't need it when they bought a machine, but then they're like, oh, I wish I would have bought that.
Correct.
Because 2 years later, now they're doing higher capacity jobs and wish
Correct.
they would have had it.
Yeah, and then that's the thing is, the nice thing about ShopSabre is a lot of our models you can add them. You can add the tool changers on our machines, but not every machine's like that.
No, they're not.
So making sure you understand your needs for the future, again, goes back to the consultant. He'll understand, ask what you're doing, what's your growth, where you're going, and he may say you need a tool changer. Think about tool changer. You don't need it today, but in the future you may want it.
Right.
So that's something there. The second most popular option that I see on a CNC router is going to typically be hold down.
Vacuum.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Vacuum, you're going to have to hold something down on the table.
Yeah, by far it's the most popular, I would say the most popular option of holding your material down right now, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So, as you look at it, again, these are most popular accessories that you could benefit from. This does not mean that every machine needs to have these options, okay?
Correct.
I'm just sharing most popular options, right?
For sure.
So, auto tool changers number one is the number one most popular option.
Every
right?
time.
No, I want it. I'm going to use it.
Hold down, though, is right there with it.
It's crucial.
Yeah. You can't cut what you can't hold down.
Absolutely true.
So if the material's moving all over the place, you're not doing anything with your machine.
No, you're not.
So holding it down is key. So you have two chances. You have two options.
You only two chances,
You have
maybe.
two chances here, right? Yeah. But no, hold down vacuum or hold down clamps.
Correct.
right?
Right.
So vacuum being typically sheet good.
Right. Absolutely.
Typically
Sheet
start with a
goods.
sheet or a larger, nested application, right?
Right. Nested applications as
Now
well.
there are some pod style vacuum, right?
There is.
Where it's designed for a specific fixture or hold down.
Right.
Very unusual. Let's say
It's not
right?
very common.
It's not
that's for
common
sure.
anymore. Yeah, it's an uncommon, way of doing things nowadays. It was very popular 15, 20 years ago.
Right.
But vacuum has evolved so incredibly, fast that the reality is most vacuum systems, have gotten a lot smaller.
Right.
You don't need these 50 horsepower pumps anymore.
No, you
Not
don't.
on a good vacuum table anymore. at
They're
least.
efficient.
They're way more efficient. You have nested applications now, so again, better yield. You can hold more parts at one time, especially cabinet guys. Is again going back to cabinets or signs. You can put more parts onto a sheet, get more things done at one time.
Yeah.
So you got vacuum, right? That's really, really popular. Picking the right pump, understanding that.
It was pretty cool, just to jump in, what we shared on Facebook and Instagram yesterday with Jeremy Abraham. He forgot to screw down all his parts, but his vacuum was on, and he didn't know till after, and he still had the perfect lines. Of
Yeah,
the
that's
finish.
awesome.
And
Yeah.
it was pretty cool to see that he had the vacuum on, usually screws his parts down and goes, oh, the vacuum worked. Saved me.
Yeah.
How excited is he?
Yeah, and that was the truth. I mean, I'm glad you said that because, the finish that he got on that, it was an aluminum cut. Incredible finish he was getting on it. But Jeremy, obviously has gotten used to over the years having to screw down all of his parts, right? But as vacuum has become more efficient, and he has a vacuum system, here by ShopSabre. He has the ShopSabre high flow vacuum on his machine, but he has the Becker vacuum pump. And in the past, he hasn't been able to trust, previous methods.
Just
whatever,
vacuum alone or
I don't know what pump he was running before or what machine, I can't speak for that, but he, you get stuck in that mentality of it's the way it's always been, right? Well, he found out, fortunately, kind of
On an accident.
Doesn't have to be this
exactly.
way.
Like, hey, good news, it works. So
can do this quicker.
think about all the time he's going to save.
Right.
If you screw down all your parts,
Right.
like that's pretty awesome. So, that vacuum, it's a huge option. I'm glad you said that, and obviously as Garrett alluded, if you go out to our social media platform, look up the post from Monday, and you'll find that, there's some pictures of it. It's pretty awesome. So, nevertheless, but that's a good point, the vacuum hold down. But then, let's say you can't vacuum hold down your part, right?
Right.
Live edge is an example, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just not flat and it's weird.
That's a tough one to lock down.
Yeah. T-slots maybe, I'd say that's probably the number 3 most popular thing I've seen.
I would say so.
T-slots, because where vacuum doesn't work, clamps usually do,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
We're unique. We sell a hybrid table, so you can have vacuum and T-slot together.
I do like that option a lot, right? Just in case, heaven forbid, something happens to your pump, right? Your pump goes down. At least you have another method, a backup method per se.
Or if
I
somebody
like
just
that.
brings you something odd.
Right, that too.
Like I said, live edge.
I like to be ready for everything,
Yeah,
right?
like
So just in case
versatility.
something happens, absolutely. I don't want to be down just because I can't hold something down.
Nobody's got time for that.
No one has time for that. We have to
Nobody's
cut
got time.
stuff. Let's
We got
go.
stuff to do.
We have a lot of
Yeah,
stuff
we
to
got
do.
stuff to do. There's only 24 hours in a day, and I'm going to use them all.
I'll use all of them.
Dust collection, right?
Well, I think it's very important.
That's
One
a
of the
very
most
important topic,
things.
right? Yeah. Who likes a mess, for one?
Nobody.
Nobody likes a mess. Actually, my kids, they seem to like a
It
mess.
kills your efficiency.
Yes.
It does.
It does.
Messes kill your efficiency.
Yeah. Well, they just change the attitude.
They do.
Like, who's happy when there's a mess?
Never.
My kids, again.
Exactly.
That's it. But
Those three
again,
little
like,
devils I have.
when you think about it, though, like, anytime something's messy, like, it puts people in a bad mood.
It does. It drives me crazy.
Yeah. So it's like having a clean environment is going to, boost morale,
Right.
boost efficiency,
Yep.
and boost the life expectancy of your machine.
For no doubt, especially that last one.
Yeah. So dust collection is important. Getting the right dust collector.
And for your health. Like, you got to hit on that one too, right? Who wants to breathe that stuff in?
True.
I
Yeah.
don't.
You get so many people that cut corners there.
Yep.
They buy these nice machines. We've seen it all the time.
Yeah.
These guys buy $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 machines, and they're beautiful. And then they go out and buy a Harbor Freight dust collector.
I'm talking to a guy right now looking at a pro machine, and I asked him about dust collection. He said, I don't have any room in my shop for dust collection.
Yeah, well, what?
What? Okay.
You're
just gonna run it without it?
But,
It's an important
I
thing.
want you to think about this. What if a fire starts because of the dust that you have?
Right. That's a big safety hazard.
Now you don't have a shop, so make room for the dust collection.
Yeah, it's a big safety hazard.
Like, especially in today's world, like, they make dust collectors that hang from the ceiling. That bolt
That's
to the
even-
wall.
That's efficient. Like,
That
that's
sit
safe
outside.
space.
Like, there's so many options that, like, if you want dust collection, you'll find dust collection.
Yeah,
Like,
you can get it.
But, yeah, we sell them. We sell dust collectors. The
Quite a
dust
few
dock.
of them.
The dust dock.
That's my favorite tool out of all tools, and I tell customers that all the time. I bet I watch that dust dock video 5 times a day.
I do.
I love it.
Awesome. The dust dock works.
It works great.
It's phenomenal. And I think there's a special on them right now.
I think there is too. I'm not quite sure what it was exactly, but I remember something.
How would you find out if you want to know about the special?
ShopSabre.com.
Call Jesse.
There you go. Call Jesse.
Call Jesse. Have your
ShopSabre.com.
friends call Jesse.
ShopSabre.com.
ShopSabre.com.
And ShopSabre.com. What was that website?
I think it's ShopSabre.com.
Okay, cool. So the next option that's really, really popular is sheet alignment pins.
Yeah, once you go with pins, you're never going to go without them.
Yeah.
Guarantee that.
Sheet alignment pins, reference pins, pop-up pins, whatever you want to call them. But if you have to deal with a 4x8 sheet, a 5x10, or larger sheets, alignment pins 100% make sense.
Yeah, you like wrestling with those 5x10 sheets?
I don't.
Me either.
Not to mention, like, I bought a CNC because I can't cut a straight line without a CNC.
Right.
So, like, if the material needs to be lined up, like, I'd rather the machine do it for me.
Right, and you know how me and you are with tape measures. Like, I'm not measuring anything or
I
trying
don't
to
know which
set
end
it
to
up.
look at half the time.
Right. I just want to push it up against something and go.
It's amazing that my race car goes in a straight line for the way I read a tape measure.
Oh, I've said the same thing. I've watched you race. Like, I'm surprised that thing goes straight.
But
Sometimes
yeah.
he goes sideways.
Sometimes. But yeah, I mean, when you think about it, lining your sheets is important. And the thing about sheet alignment pins is they can be versatile as well because if you have a 4x4 sheet today,
Yeah.
5x10 sheet tomorrow, 5x5 sheet, 4x8 sheet, whatever, it works in aligning those sheets, all different sizes, right?
Right.
Makes it easy. Your zeros aren't changing.
What if I'm doing jig fixturing?
That's another good option. Like, you create a jig, it's got to go on the table, right?
It does.
How do I align my jig to my zero?
I think you could put some holes in your jig and put it on your pop-up pins.
Hey, there you go. Pop-up
Right?
pins up.
Repeatability.
Yep. Drop your jig right over the top of those pins, and now you know that jig is in the same spot every single time.
Every single time.
I love it because what I did with a fourth axis, right, the indexing head,
Yeah.
is I created a fixture board that my fourth axis attaches to. And then my fixture board slides up against the pins. Guess what? Fourth axis is in the same spot every single time I
That's
install it.
sweet. That's awesome.
Easy on, easy off.
That's awesome.
So those type of things is what you got to think about.
Guys are taking notes on that one right now.
Yeah. And then the next thing, tabletop upgrades.
Oh, phenolic all the way.
Phenolic.
All the way.
So many people call us up like, I got to have an aluminum top.
No, you don't.
Nope, wrong. Like, aluminum is too expensive.
If you want to burn some money.
Yeah. Like, if you hate your money, I can give you my Venmo.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can
I'll
Venmo me your money.
I'll take the money for the phenolic top, and then we'll just burn the rest.
Yeah, and the rest of it you can just send to my Venmo.
Absolutely.
I'll put your face on my race car, I promise.
We'll go to Cheesecake Factory.
It's going to be awesome. But, yeah, phenolic top, I mean, phenolic's material is just as beneficial as aluminum. Very dense. It's not going to absorb moisture. It's really durable. In fact, in my opinion, it's more durable than aluminum. It doesn't get wrecked as easily.
I like the way it looks too. Like,
Yeah, it's
I'm a
sharp.
guy, and I like when things look sharp. I do like that, and it looks really good on that table.
It's a sharp looking, top.
is.
So, don't get me wrong, MDF exists for those who you don't have the budget for phenolic, right?
Right.
That's why it exists. But the reality is phenolic is a better material.
Oh, hands down.
Especially if you're doing aluminum. You got to use coolants and, liquids to help lubricate your tooling.
Yeah, you
Right?
can't use an MDF when
You don't wanna
when
use
you're doing
MDF for that.
No, you'll be
No.
replacing that tabletop in a quick hurry.
Yeah, which is time, and time is money. So
It is.
spend the money now. Tool touch off. My last one I'm going to talk about is a popular option, right?
Yeah.
So popular option you need is to calculate the bits, right? The material surface.
Right.
A lot of companies, they have one tool that's on the machine that calculates the Z0 and the tool length all at the same time. Sounds great in a perfect world. But change bits in the middle of a project once.
Yeah. See how that works for
And
you.
now all your zeros change. Sweet.
Terrible.
That's terrible. Or break a bit.
Yeah.
Even worse.
Even worse.
Power goes out.
Oh.
Yep. Start over. Like,
Back to the beginning.
yeah, so get a tool touch off system. Get your tools to be touching off independently from your material zero.
Yep, that's important.
So there's my most popular router options.
I would say those are some good options.
What about plasma, Jesse? You want to start that one off for me? What are you seeing as most popular accessories that you benefit from in plasma?
I would say number one's got to be the water table, right?
agree.
It's got to be the most popular option as far as add-ons.
Yeah, because, when you're cutting with the plasma, you're dealing with smoke, right?
You are.
What do you do with that smoke?
Either you're going to vent it out or you got to capture it, right?
Yep, or you just can't see it in
Or
the
you
shop anymore.
can't see in the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the smoke has a yellow tint to it, so it typically stains everything.
It does.
So you kind of want to get rid of that.
Yeah, if you like yellow tint all over your tools and toolboxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How well does a water table work, Jesse, would you say?
I would say it works probably, 95% capture of that smoke. That
That's
would
a
be
pretty
my-
impressive amount, and I would agree with that amount.
I would say
I would
so.
say 95% is a pretty safe number. There's less overall cost than using a ventilation system.
Absolutely, right?
So-
You're not running pumps. You're not running filters.
Yep. Now, obviously, the second most popular option I would have to go with Downdraft, right?
Downdraft, yeah.
Guys who don't want to run water in their shop or have a ventilation system already pre-built in or
Right.
can tie into an HVAC system.
Guys doing a lot of aluminum.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I don't know. Garrett's throwing gang signs at me again.
I saw that.
I'm scared.
What is that?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't count.
Both signs say toilet.
Yeah. So, but no, the Downdraft system I'd say is the second most popular. No water, obviously, and less smoke with the appropriate HVAC solution.
Right.
But the biggest issue is most people won't spend the money on a proper HVAC solution.
No, they won't.
They're gonna go out to Harbor Freight and buy that fan.
They are.
Yeah, and
Crack
then-
a window, Jimmy.
Yeah, exactly. And what's gonna happen is it works great when the whole sheet's full, and as soon as you start putting holes in it and the pump has to overcome the leakage,
Yeah.
it can't, and then the smoke escapes and.
And you're left with a mess
Yeah,
still.
Exactly. So do it right if you're going to do Downdraft. That's one thing I will say.
Absolutely.
Do it right. Get an HVAC tech into your shop. Figure it out.
Yep. Don't cut those corners.
No,
That's
you're
not a
right.
corner to cut.
Not a corner worth cutting. Collision detection, though. That's my third. I think I'm going to jump on that one.
Man, you could almost tie that up there at number 1 as well.
I was
That's
just gonna say that. Like,
that's a
it's
tough one.
I was gonna say, you said water table, and I'll give you that because a lot of people do buy the water table, but I think just as many people buy that collision detection.
It's important. It's very important.
And I'll say one thing. There's probably any person who doesn't buy the collision detection up front ends up buying it after the fact.
I would agree with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. A lot of calls coming back for the guys that get magnets. How do I take that off?
Yeah,
Or
I-
just upgrade.
I wanted to make it standard on our machines, but the problem with it is then you get people complaining to you because they can't buy a cheap solution.
Right. Right.
Like, okay, so I'll give you the cheap solution. You can buy the Breakaway torch mount, right? There are a lot of companies sell these cheap Breakaways that have magnets with a switch behind them, and they call it a collision. It's not a collision. It's a
No.
Breakaway with a cheap
a-
switch
with a
behind
switch.
it. Yeah, it's what you need is a real collision system.
Right.
Collision systems, they're a proximity censored system that never come off the machine. They're fixed to the machine hard.
Yep.
And the proximity sensors are so accurate that if anything touches the torch in any direction, it shuts the machine down instantly. Like, it will not knock the torch off the machine.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, that can be at full speed on our machines. Full speed. If it touches something, it's going to stop it fast enough it's not going to break the torch.
I love that.
Yeah, like, that's how it should be designed.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And a lot of people, when they hear collision, they think of, like, collision, right?
Right. Like we're crashing something
like crashing
hard.
something, right? Yeah. But what most people don't realize is like 90% of collisions on a CNC machine are basically what I would refer to as a grazing, right?
Yeah.
They just graze the material.
Yep.
Just enough. And what happens is it knocks the torch just a little bit out of alignment
Right.
because magnets move. Magnets have some play in them,
They do.
but not enough to actually dismount the torch.
Right.
Well, if you're not standing there watching that torch, and in some cases, even if you are watching it, it's such a small grazing, you don't see it.
That's what I'm saying. You might not catch it.
Because there's a flame and you can't stare at the flame anyways because it's bad for your eyes. So you really can't be looking
I
at the
do it
torch.
all the time, though.
Yeah, you shouldn't. It's bad.
I know.
For you. Very bad. Excuse me. The biggest thing I would say about collision is you want to make sure that the collision system is smarter than you.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Because if I can't see what's going on or I don't understand what's going on, I can't fix it. I can't correct it.
Right.
If the collision system knows more than me or is more sensitive than me, it's going to fix it for me before I realize there's a problem.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why, like with our collision system, it has an auto torch alignment.
Yeah.
So if it grazes the material as it's cutting, one part might be bad, right?
Yep.
The part that it grazed may not turn out the way you want it to. But as soon as it is done making contact, it's going to pull itself back straight again, right? It's going to take the skew back out of it, so your next 10 parts in a row on that sheet are good.
Yeah.
So if something tips up, something pops up, the material warps and springs at the torch, and it's not hard enough to actually knock the torch off or create a collision, you have the ability to continue to run and you don't lose all those parts.
That's awesome. Yeah, you don't want to lose material.
So to me, collision's a must.
Yeah.
You got to have a collision.
Well, you think about how expensive these sheets are right now.
Yeah.
I don't want to destroy a sheet.
Yeah.
Not at all.
That's a good point.
Some of those sheets cost more than what the collision detection is.
It's like cutting gold.
Some of them are. You
Yeah.
ain't kidding.
That's true. That's a great point. Especially because I think there's a special on collision right now, too.
I believe so. I think it's heavily discounted.
Where could I find out more information about that?
ShopSabre.com, or you can call one of your sales consultants at ShopSabre.
Wow. That sounds like a good, convenient way to find out more.
Yeah, we'll go through all of it.
Yeah. The next thing I would say is really popular. What would you say, actually? I'm going to let you take this one. What would you say is next on a plasma table? What do you think outside of collision, obviously?
I would say the laser sights. That's probably the next
Yeah.
popular one for sure.
There's a good one. Yeah, because the laser sight's attached to the collision, actually, so that's a good
They
point.
do, yep.
But yeah, laser sights give you a laser zero.
Right.
So you can set your zeros, and it's really efficient for setting
Something
X, Y,
to
zero.
visually see.
Marker pen attachment, etching,
This is huge.
right?
I
would say
love
that's
this
really,
option.
really popular. Garrett, you just posted some stuff on this, right?
I did, and we are continuing to, and it goes for router as well.
Yeah,
So
that's
router
true.
guys as well.
Yeah, that can. We'll put that under both router and plasma. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it speeds up your secondary, processes. If you need to mark where a part's going to be, welded, or you need to mark where a fold line's at, or drill.
It goes back to sheets are expensive,
Yeah.
save material,
Correct. No
Yeah, it's
mistakes.
stop before you cut it.
That's
Yeah.
to say, that's what we were just talking about. Like, you want to see what you're about to fabricate. Maybe it's something you've never cut. Throw the
Yeah.
marker pen in, draw it out.
Correct.
You can look at it before you start making scrap.
And if you don't like it, you can wipe it off then.
Right?
Yep. I actually saw guys. Bob did it actually. Bob taught us this, but in the router world, he used it to label his parts for edge banding.
That's
So you
awesome.
can edge band the correct edge and not make a mistake.
Now this is smart.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Super awesome.
You can even make gift wrap with it. I know people are doing that right now with the holidays. Wrapping paper.
Yeah.
Make
There's
gift
a lot of
wrap?
fun stuff. Yeah. Draw cool designs.
Cool. I guess I didn't know that was a thing.
Neither did I.
Sweet.
You saw my brain just melt.
I know. Me too. I was like, wait, what?
What?
Sounds like a video we need to see on YouTube.
We should make our own ShopSabre wrapping paper.
Oh, we should start a ShopSabre wrap. No, just me. Okay, just me. There you go.
I'm going to work on this.
Okay. Let's get into, I know we're kind of getting long-winded here, but it's most overrated, oversold accessories, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about these a little bit, right?
Yeah.
These are some of the ones that you'll find less beneficial long-term.
I'm excited for this topic here.
My favorite is we just talked about laser sights for the plasma, right?
Yeah.
And then we see guys put them on the router.
Yeah.
Like, why? It's a cheap machine, sell them. That's why.
Because someone told me I need them on
Yeah,
my router.
correct. Yeah, most times it's cheap machines. Like, don't buy. You don't need laser sight on your
It comes
router.
in a package on my machine.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. The reality is this is typically reducing accuracy on a professional grade machine because a laser dot is less accurate than the tip of your tool.
Right. Most guys are using the tip of the tool.
If you're getting a professional machine, get yourself a professional option like those pins we talked about.
Correct.
That's much more efficient for setting zeros and things like that.
Absolutely.
So, laser sights is one of those overrated options in my opinion.
Yeah, save that, buddy.
And you're saying laser sight's not a laser engraver.
Correct. Yeah, laser sight.
Like
yeah.
the laser crosshairs.
Yeah.
Some people put those on routing machines. You might not have seen that, Garrett, but it's.
Because we try not to do a lot.
Yeah,
of it,
we try not to do that.
I just don't want anyone to be confused because the laser engraver is different.
That's true.
Yeah,
laser
thank
engravers,
you.
That's a cool option. Drill heads. I'm gonna say that's one of the oversold ones. Not overrated as much as oversold.
Well, yeah, I would agree with you.
Some people do need them.
Right.
Most do not though.
Most do not.
The added cost for that is minimal for the gain that you're gonna get in most applications. Like, let me say
You
that
said
again.
that backwards.
I said that backwards. Yeah. I was like,
yeah.
my
The
brain-
cost is pretty great.
The cost is much greater than the benefit you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's all right.
Yeah.
You've crushed it so far to this point. You're doing good.
Got to make a mistake once in a while.
Yep.
But no, it's, you talk about why on that one. It's realistically, you're drilling holes, and most cabinets are, a minimal number of holes comparably to the amount of time that you're wasting doing that. So just do a
Right.
tool change. It'll be faster. And you're only saving minutes. I mean, we did a cycle test. We have a video. Garrett can post this online, but we did a cycle test. It was a 11-sheet kitchen that we did with the drill head and without it. The time savings was under 5 minutes total for the whole job. Is that worth the cost of a drill head in most applications? Probably not.
No. That's where I'll try to talk you out of it.
Yeah, like in most applications, unless you're doing closets or rapid hole production, like it may not make sense. Another one that I see oversold quite a bit is pods.
Yeah.
The universal vacuum tables where you got pod setups, like you're gonna use pods once in your life, maybe ever.
Maybe.
Yeah. Some people will never use pods.
And they're expensive.
I've been doing it 10 years. I've had 0 applications ever that I've had to use pods. Myself.
Good thing you bought those, huh?
Yeah, like seriously, like I've never had to. Like they're, we show them on applications for people, but most applications you don't have to.
Right.
And in today's world, I'll just make a vacuum fixture. I'll use my machine to make a vacuum fixture if I had to, anyways.
Way more repeatable.
Yeah, I don't need to worry about buying pods and all that
Yep.
stuff. So, to me, that's an oversold option.
I agree with you.
I think there are certain applications where it makes sense, and obviously in certain applications you're going to be told to buy them.
I think it's like the drill head. It's not as common.
Yeah, but it's not in an everyday scenario. Multiple spindles on a CNC. That
I've
one
seen
also.
this a few times.
Yeah, like buy an ATC in today's world. Like unless you're making the same part over and over and you need to put 3 spindles on there to cut 3 parts at one time.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It does.
But you see these, and we used to do it 20 years ago where you'd have these multiple heads. Guys would put like a router in the middle and then a spindle in the middle and 2 routers on the side, right?
Yeah.
And
Could you imagine the noise?
Well, the routers are super loud and annoying, but two, like you're losing all that X-axis travel because now you have extra heads on there that now limit your productive space.
Extremely limited.
Yep. And then on top of that, a 110 router isn't designed for drilling anyways. So like you're losing torque, you're losing the ability to utilize the machine from a functionality standpoint. So you're slowing yourself down. And what happens when those brushes burn out in those side motors, or you don't have some of the control over that? Like just buy the tool changer. When you add up the cost of those routers, the side attachment, all the stuff you're going through, the messing around, like you're not that far off of a true tool changer.
I wonder who came up with that idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's put 2 routers on this thing. Let's see what happens.
But like ATC or auto tool changer is too affordable and too effective to go the direction any differently than auto tool changer. Maybe 10 years ago, like I said, it made sense, but today's world, be careful when you're getting talked into those options. Wired pendants, that's another one. We see some wired pendants still.
Still?
Like who has wired pendants?
It sounds Chinese.
Yeah, it does.
It feels old. Like
well, there's wireless
my
technology.
keyboard doesn't even have a wire in it anymore.
Nothing's
Like,
wired anymore.
Yeah, like with the evolution of wireless devices, like who deals with wires anymore? Like my phone is all wireless. Why can't your CNC have a wireless remote? I mean, your TV.
That's the thing is, you can have a wireless remote.
Yeah, that's my point. But I'm saying like my TV doesn't have a remote going, with a wire going to it.
Wouldn't that be something?
You got this wire that's coming.
You got a 40-foot wire.
You never lose the remote though.
I would love that part of it.
Actually,
Yeah,
that's probably a good idea. Hey, now I know why. No, in reality is like with most pendants nowadays, they have magnets on the back of them. You can stick them to the machine when you're done. There's not a reason to have wireless or wired components anymore.
I agree.
Off-table vertical positioners. I've seen a lot of those being oversold. Guys saying they can't do dovetails unless they have a vertical positioner.
That's wrong.
Yeah, no, just buy the correct bits from Vortex Tool. And,
Yeah, we can do them flat on the table.
Yeah, do them flat on the table. You can do far more of them, be more efficient.
They turn out great too.
Yeah, way less setup time. So vertical positions, they're kind of a bulky attachment that you don't see a lot of.
Why you got that look on your
face?
face?
Garrett looks confused.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, vertical positioners. They sit on the side of the machine. They make something sit straight in the air. The last one's C-axis. I get this a lot. Got to have a C-axis.
We're hearing about it more.
Got to have it.
Yeah,
No, you don't.
it's
Like,
very rare.
Make sure you need it.
Yeah,
They're very expensive.
they are. They're not
And
cheap.
A sales guy makes a lot of money off of those if he's commission paid. So he
A
may
lot.
talk you into one, but the reality is just create a fixture that holds your part, and then you don't have to have a C-axis in a lot of applications.
That's smart.
Again, 90% of people who think they need a C-axis find out they don't need it.
Right.
And then the 10% actually need them and they buy them.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that.
Yeah, that's something I would say is overrated. On the plasma side, breakaway torch mounts with the micro switch behind them. Let's start
Yeah.
there, right? We talked about that earlier. Get yourself, a real collision, not the knockoff collisions. I see Truehole Technology being one that you hear a little bit less of lately, but you used to hear a lot of people saying, I have Truehole. I can't make a hole on my plasma without Truehole Technology. Some people need that technology, but most people find that it's minimal benefit for the cost.
Right.
Truehole typically only works in certain materials, certain hole sizes.
You're limited.
Yeah, it's
Very
not
limited.
for everything, everyone. So be careful on that one. Adjustable water tables. That's the one that's picked up traction lately.
It has.
We've seen a lot of people saying they need an adjustable water table.
Exactly. For what?
For what? Well, we're going to cut underwater.
Honestly, I just want to swim in them.
Well, what plasma cutter are you using? The Power Max 65. It's not designed for that.
Yeah. How are you gonna cut underwater?
You're not cutting underwater. Like a lot of people aren't cutting submerged anymore. Like it's not popular anymore to cut submerged. So adjustable water tables really aren't as crucial as they used to be. Some applications still need them, obviously, but most applications you can't benefit from them anyways. In most applications, you can retrieve your parts because there's parts catch trays really close to the surface.
Right.
So you're not digging around looking for parts anymore. Like there's a lot of things in place now that really overcome that. So, usually you're going to set your water height and you're not going to ever adjust it.
Right.
Like,
Technology and design is advancing.
yeah. Some of your bigger high def tables, yes, you're going to have water tables that are adjustable. That makes sense.
It does.
But on your typical air plasmas, you typically don't need to adjust the water tables a whole lot.
I agree with that.
Scanners. I've seen guys saying on plasma that, they got these scanners that scan my part. How does it work? Oh, it uses a photo eye. So it doesn't feel the part at all. No, it's a photo. It traces the edge. Like, okay, be careful. They're
Right.
not what they're advertised. We've seen them. We've used them. That line better be crisp. It better be able to pick up that edge very clear, because if there's any contrast between the color of the part and the background, it's going to have a heck of a time finding it.
Yeah. That sounds like a rough one.
Yep, it's not always the best application. And then the last thing I want to throw in there is what?
Stainless steel water tables.
Stainless steel water tables.
They don't rust.
The heck is
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stainless steel water tables are expensive. You're spending
They
a lot
are.
of money there. You're giving up something somewhere else.
You are.
Like put some plasma defense in, do some stuff to the table to help reduce the amount of, scale you're going to get on the table. Do your maintenance, and you won't deal with that.
I was just talking about this yesterday.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Take care of your table. You won't have these issues.
Yeah. So, I know this episode's getting a little long, but I still want to,
It's important stuff.
Yeah, I still want to talk about some other stuff. Some other options outside of your machine that make you money and save you time.
Yeah. Yeah. Bear with us, guys. This is important stuff.
Right? I mean, would you agree that there's some options out there that would save you money or help your shop that are not CNC router plasma related, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like a hinge boring machine.
Yeah, exactly. Like a hinge boring machine. It's faster and cheaper than like a C-axis on a machine.
It is.
So a lot of guys think that I gotta have a C-axis so I can do the hinges on my doors. Like just buy a hinge boring machine. It'll be cheaper and typically more efficient.
It will.
So that's a good option. One that I would say is easy sanders. Being able to, you get these guys that when they're worried about their dross on their parts, right?
Yeah.
So they slow their cuts down so incredibly, much that it takes them longer to cut everything.
Right.
It's like just go fast, do your thing, run the machine, use the speed of the machine, do what you need to do, and then throw it through an easy sander.
Right.
It'll take seconds, and any slag that's on the back of your part will be off, and your cuts are going to be
Those things are incredible.
phenomenal. Yeah.
I love the quality when things come out the other side of that.
Correct.
It's amazing.
Yeah, easy sanders are awesome. It helps you remove the debris, the slag, much quicker and effectively than old school methods.
For sure.
That's-
Who has time to stand there and chisel all that off? And
I don't want to
sand?
sit there with a grinder and
No,
do that. It's
no.
annoying.
I'm sick of wearing masks.
Yeah, exactly. Edge banders, right?
Yeah.
You see guys using iron still to iron on their edge banding?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I mean,
Let me get you my pants and my shirt real quick. Hold on.
I mean, it makes sense in some applications. Low volume, yeah, okay. But like if you're doing regular edge banding, like get yourself a professional machine. They're not terribly expensive anymore, and they're going to save you money.
Absolutely. If you're already edge banding, you're doing it, right?
Time is
Get
money.
a machine that'll do it. Yeah.
Time is money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Air compressors.
Can't say enough about these.
Air compressors, you need them.
They're important.
Like if you have a tool chain, you got to have an air compressor.
They're very important.
Buy a nice compressor and a dryer.
Pop-up pins require air,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, plasma cutters require air. So
You're going to have an air requirement at some point in time.
yeah, buy a nice compressor. Don't buy some cheapie. It's the compressor goes down, your whole machine's down, right?
Put a dryer on it.
And then put a dryer
Put
on
a
it so you don't
dryer
get
on
water
it.
in your machine.
Put a
Can you fill up
dryer
your
on
tire
it.
with the air compressor too?
You could do that
Does
if
it
you
act as a double?
You could,
it
yeah.
doubles. It's
yeah.
versatile.
Absolutely.
That's what I thought.
Fill up
say-
the floaties.
I'm going to say it one more time.
'Cause air isn't
put
free.
a dryer on your air
Yeah,
compressor.
or an air filter kit.
that as well.
Do that. At the very least,
It's
do
important.
that. Get good dust collection. We'll go back to that. We talked about it earlier, but get good dust collection. We sell a, Oneida system here.
We do. A few of them.
Yeah. We sold just a couple of those, right?
Yeah, a couple.
Yeah, we sell a lot of those. They work really, really well. You can buy Chinese and, cheap knockoff dust collectors. They exist. It's better than no dust collection, right?
Correct. Absolutely.
Don't get me wrong. But a lot of times those aren't going to last as long. And over time, you're going to spend the same as you would have just to buy a nice
You
dust
are.
collector.
Yeah.
So,
Oneida's a very trusted name.
yep. And they're USA made.
They are.
Quality
So-
matters.
Short turnaround time on them,
Yeah.
too, for right now, from what I understand.
It's my understanding, at least. But I mean, reality is, we're here at the end of the year. I mean, there's all these things we talked about. Maybe you already have a CNC, but you're like, man, I really do need to think about that dust collector, or I really need to think about that edge bander. Like,
Yeah.
call us. Our parts department has sales on all this stuff right now.
Yeah, we do.
Like, there's so many reasons to upgrade your stuff and get the options you need. For those who bought a machine and now thought about an option that you want to add on, like, call us. There's a good chance you can add it,
For sure.
right?
Yeah.
We have a lot of ability to expand your machine.
A ton. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of different options you can add in the field. And if you can't, we'll let you know, right?
Except for we're not going to let you know on Thursday because we're closed.
Correct.
Or Friday?
Well, you know
Or
what?
Maybe Friday.
Let's be real. Let's be honest with you. How many emails are you going to answer on Thanksgiving?
No comment.
Yeah, we both know that we're going to be pounding out emails.
I usually check my email every Thanksgiving morning.
Yeah.
I made a sale on Thanksgiving one time. It's cool.
That
guy,
is cool.
Guy called me. We finished his deal on
Dude, there's
Thanksgiving.
only so much of my in-laws I can sit and listen to talk before I want to get on the computer and listen to our customers talk.
Yeah, I understand that. I can only eat so much before I have to have a break. So then,
Watch football.
Well,
Oh, it sounds like
usually
you have,
the games are a blowout.
It sounds
and
like
they're
you have to
terrible,
train
I'll be
harder,
honest.
to be honest.
Yeah.
Most football games on Thanksgiving are always a blowout and terrible.
Yeah, they are actually pretty boring.
The
on
first game
Thanksgiving. I'll
this
give you
year is
that.
terrible.
And then, so while Garrett's watching football and, Grandpa's sleeping and
I'm still
I'm
competition
trying
eating.
to, digest all the food I just ate because I'm way faster than Jesse at it. I'm going to answer emails.
I feel like we need to put this head to head sometime.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm just saying here. While you guys all sleep and eat, I'm going to use some of those hours in the day to help the customers.
Oh, you don't think I can eat and type at the same time? I do it all the time.
I know you can.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch you spill your mashed potatoes all over your keyboard.
That's not true. I created this bib that has a shelf on it, so I can literally just put it over my head, and it's got a little tray right here, so I can just grab it and eat, right? I'll show it to you. It's pretty cool.
Oh, my God.
Lions versus Bears, not good. First game.
Look at him.
guy-
Look at him. He's just stuck
Look at
on
this
this
guy. He
garbage.
just comes back
Lions and
in.
Bears. Oh, my.
Lions and Bears. It's
Lions
actually-
and Tigers and Bears. Oh, my.
Sounds like it's going to be a good game to me.
Sounds like we're watching The Wizard of Oz.
I agree. He's still stuck on that. Had to bring out the Lions and the Bears again.
Yeah.
I love football.
I know you do. You gonna get ready?
Good
to,
game last night.
Didn't watch last night's game either.
There was a game on last night?
Didn't know there was a game on. I was working.
I
Were you
was as
working?
well. I was as
I think
well.
we were both working
Yeah,
last
I
night.
think I sent my last email at 11 o'clock last night.
Yep, I think so.
Got
too.
to bed a little early.
Got to bed early last
I
night.
did.
Yep,
I
I'll
did.
get you there. But yeah, I mean that's really. I mean it's that time of year. Okay.
It is.
Thursday we're gonna be closed. We're gonna spend some time with our families. I hope you do too.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you need something, there's
Reach
a good
out.
chance
Obviously, you
we'll
can always reach
respond.
out. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. Friday, we are closed in the office.
I'm
but-
going out of town
Yeah, I heard that.
for
Your
the
wife-
first time in a
your wife's
long
taking
time.
you out of town.
Yeah. I tried to get her to let me go by myself, but she said no. She said, it's my birthday present. I got to spend time with her.
Oh, yeah,
I was
happy birthday.
Well, it's not yet. It's coming.
I'm gonna
It's
say it
coming.
anyways. Happy
Thank you. I
birthday.
appreciate that. Yeah.
But yeah, so you're gonna go out of town.
Still going to be working, bringing my
yeah.
laptop with. So.
Yeah, same here. I'm driving on. You'll be driving over the weekend.
Is this not the most fun time of year?
It is. I love this time of year.
I'm just jacked. I'm excited.
It's it's like everything about this time of year is fun. Like I get to see my kids. Like magic through a kid's eyes to me is the best. Like this is the time of year where my kids just like everything is awesome to them. You know, I have a 5 and a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
They love it. So
Hunter just finally got to that age where it's going to be that Christmas where he really understands what's
Yeah.
going on. He really gets it.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for that.
no, I agree. But you know what? I think we've bored people at this point. You know,
I think the phones are ringing and my email's blown up.
Yeah, so you know what? We're going to get back at it, but you know how to reach us, shopsabre.com, if you have any questions on this. Otherwise, we're going to have to be back at it next week, aren't we?
Absolutely.
I'm Brandon.
I'm Jesse.
Thanks for talking shop with ShopSabre.